Hello, it's the Hobotographer, and I'm here to tell you more about my rock bottom and how I'm bringing myself back. Uh, Yesterday was a hell of a day, but before I get into that, I have to tell you, my sister, she said she'd come out here and help me with her son and her boyfriend slash husband, but they were unable to do that because they had a little car issue. Someone had sideswiped them and knocked out her car and about six other cars, and she's dealing with that. So let's have a prayer for her for a moment. But they were able to get up here yesterday and they helped me clean out the garage. I'm gonna today take everything that should be in the garage that's around here in my house and I'm gonna put it in the garage. I'm gonna organize that out. And I can't believe how blessed I am in my life right now. You know, you get up and get into action, you get up and do things that you don't normally do. You wake up, do your morning routine, brush your teeth, put your clothes on, get out your pajamas. You know, just if you're tired when you wake up, stay up. You know, get yourself motivated, get yourself going. But yesterday was particularly a special day. It's like the universe rains down blessings on you when you actually get up and do the things you're supposed to be doing in life. A few weeks ago, I had a young man knock on my door and says, "Hey, man, I got a baby coming on the way, and I need to make just a little bit of money. Do you mind if I weed eat your front yard? You can pay me anything you want." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Come back when you see tires on my van," because at the time that was when I was dealing with some people who have been coming at me, and they actually slashed my tires. Whew. Well, anyway, uh, so my van was all up in the air on jacks, and we were just taking off to get the tires. So a couple of weeks had gone by, and I hadn't seen him, but he came by like he said he would, and he knocked down my grass. I gave him some money, but also filled his car with food and gave him quite a few DVRs so he could sell it and help pay for whatever he needs to pay for in life, especially having a baby on the way. But he knocked at my door early in the morning, and I thought it was the cable company coming by again. I got these cable salesmen, they're trying to hit me up every day almost, trying to sell me some of this cable and internet from my house. But I thought it was them, so I just ignored them. I didn't really want to talk to him again. And it had turned out that it was this young man, and he was really in a bad spot, and he needed someone to talk to. And it was such a perfect thing because I'm here at my rock bottom, pulling myself up, and here comes the universe giving me someone to help. What? Me? Wait a second. I need all the help I could get. What are you talking about? I gotta help someone else, right? No, that's not the way it works. You are so blessed in life when someone comes to you and says, I need a little bit of your time. Can you give me a little bit of your time? I need some help. And I could have said no. I could have said, "Oh man, I'm just as bad off as you. You go away." But I called him as soon as he left a note on the floor and this on the door on the ground by my front door. As soon as I saw it, I picked it up and was like, "No, gotta help this young man." So I called him right up because it's about taking yourself out of yourself. It's about being of service and it's about helping others because you get more reward in life when you take yourself out of yourself and you're able to help other people. And I said, "Come on over, man. I'll be a ear you can bend. See this ear? It bent. It's bent. See this ear? It's not so bent." So I said, "Here, come on, bend my ear. Come on over." Turns out he's having some difficulties in life. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I was talking with him for just a little bit as I was working, and he came up with his own solution. And it was a solution that I already knew would be really good for him because it was a process thing. He's got some grief in his life, and it's part of the grieving process that he came up with. He's stuck in some position in life, some place in his head, And he came up with his own solution. And I promoted it. I'm like, that's what you need to do. You need to go home and do that right now. Go home and do that right now. Don't even think about my backyard, because I got a whole other bunch of backyard he could do, and you'll see that later. And I told him, I'm not even gonna let you touch my backyard till you take care of what you got to do, and go home and do it. I promise you, you'll feel so much better for it. See, he's dealing with a loss in his life, and he's really got him stuck. So he decided maybe I should write my dad a letter, because his father had passed away a couple years ago, and that was his best friend, and it was a surprising kind of pass away. The young man was in his life. He was getting up. He was going. He was up north, and he was starting his new life, and he was really excited about it and wanted to share it with his dad. But his dad had passed away. It kind of surprising. You put him on his butt, shocked him. And he's been real stuck about that for a little while now. And it's affected the way he's working. It's affected everything about his life. And I told him, that's not a bad idea, because he thought maybe I should write my dad a letter. I said, do that. Write your dad a letter and then burn it. Tell your dad everything you want to tell him. Tell him about your life. Tell him about the baby coming up. Yell at your dad. Yell at your dad. Tell him how mad you are at leaving surprisingly if you're mad. Then talk to him and tell him how you forgive him, because there was nothing he could do about it. Just tell your thoughts to him. Tell him like he's really there right in front of you, and then burn it. And when you burn it, just pray to God. Give it to God. Let your father receive that message, because he's still here. He's still watching you, son. And so he's doing it. Hopefully he's doing it, and he's doing it well. I'll be talking with him more. I'm gonna give him a call today and give him a heads up and say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I hope you did well with your letter, and I hope you keep writing it. I told him, it doesn't matter. Don't just sit there and write some stupid little letter and think you're gonna spend about 5-10 minutes on it and you're gonna be done. I said, if it takes a few days, if it takes a week to get this letter written, just write it. Write it the way it should be written, and then just burn it. Let it go. The fumes will go to heaven, and let it take all your grief with you. But that wasn't it. That was a very powerful thing. But it wasn't just that either. You see, I have this really good friend. Well, we were kind of acquaintance friends. But when I first met her, I got a little belly feeling. You get those instinctual feelings that this woman is going to be something important in my life, and she's going to be a good thing. And a few years ago, I let a young man live with me, and he turned out to be dating her. Well, they were friends when he was moving in, and then when he moved in, they were dating. And I was like, cool, good for you. She's a real pretty girl. She's a looker. And I said, good for you, congratulations. But that wasn't exactly the best relationship for either one of them. And I've been dealing with a whole bunch of stuff in my life. So I had to purge everybody out of my life just to get back to me, get focused on me, find out what's really going in the background in my life. Like I said, I've been burgled a lot. Probably lost close to $40,000 worth of stuff, and some cash, and just it's those tires someone slashed. They've been stealing my mail. It's really been a leverage on my life that's just been crippling. But I didn't know who was doing it. So I had to purge everybody who I needed to assess whether they were involved with what's going on. You see, I was getting burgled every time I left town. I used to go to Mexico and help a couple of churches down in Mexico, and every time I'd leave, someone would be burgling my house. I was told they were coming in through my backyard. It was just a mess, and I realized, who have I been telling I've been going to Mexico? Who knows I'm doing that? Well, that's a whole long story, and I got to get a whole lot more proof before I can actually talk about it. But it wasn't her. It wasn't. It wasn't a few other people, I thought, either. So I'm open to bringing people back into my life, and I was thinking about her the other day, and I was really hoping she was doing well. I was I was really hoping her life was blessed because at the time I was talking to her going back and forth to Mexico, she was up north. She was in her own apartment. She was doing her thing and it was all blessed for her. Turns out not so much. But she's been back home for about a year now, and she went to school. She's graduated, not graduated, she graduated a few classes, and they're actually pretty, pretty tough classes. So she's feeling real proud about herself, and she just reached out and said hi yesterday. You see, the universe brings you things. The universe, God, the God Almighty, the light of lights. He will bring you things when you start bringing yourself things, because that's what it's about. God's not going to just hand you things and say, here you go. He knows what you need. He knows the trials and tribulations you need to go through. He knows the things that you need to strengthen yourself. And sometimes when you think the whole world is crushing you and you're all just dying inside, it's not God against you. It really isn't God against you. See, God knows what you can handle. He knows what you can live through, and He knows what you need. He knows what you need brought into your life, and He knows what you need removed from your life. And sometimes you get so stuck where you're at. Things need to get so hard, and you just need to be pounded, not punished, pounded with your life so you can wake up to see it. It's like it's like being it's like being in a daze, like in a fog, and you just get hit, ba 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 ba, and you just get hit, bam, bam. There's another one. Oh, that's my life. That's my life. That's my life. And some days you're just so tired of getting beat up, you just lay down. But at one point, you're gonna get beat up so much, you just get tired of getting hit, and you're like, that's it. I'm gonna do something. So that's kind of how like my life was. I was getting hit from left and right and left and right, and I for a while there, I just laid there and took it. Bam, bam. This is my life. This is my life. And then I just got hit one too many times, and and I woke up. I said, this is it. I'm tired of getting hit. I'm tired of getting beat on. I'm tired of getting worked over. I'm tired of this stuff. I got to get up and do something about it. And that's what I did. And now here I am, cleaning my house, getting it all ready for my sister to move in. Yeah, there's going to be real hard times coming. And some of you watching this video might be high on top of the world. You're living on your mountain. You're like, yay, that guy rock bottom. He don't know nothing. He a little peon, whatever. You may have a whole lot of stuff now, but there's going to come a time where this whole life's going to crush on you. And I don't mean in a good way like they want to take you down the aisle. This whole life is going to crush on you people coming. I'm telling you. But you don't have to. You don't have to let it cripple you. You don't have to let the things that are going to happen in the world right now when you're high on the mountain. You don't have to let them crush you. There's some of you out there watching this video that are way past where I'm at in regards to success, and way past where I'm at in regards to the possessions you have and the positions and placements in your life. But there are things coming, and you have no idea. And you, high on the mountain right now, just very well may be the man I help. Yeah, I may hand my hand out to you and help you up. I'm going to get back to my food services, and I may just see you on the streets. I pray to God, I don't. I pray to God for everybody to have a beautiful, healthy life and just keep succeeding, keep succeeding. But if that's the case, that's the case. Amen. If it's not, if you are high on the hill, high on the mountaintops, looking at me going, dirty, dirty, and then you slip, fall down that cliff because you took a wrong step somewhere on the way up, didn't latch in one of your safety lines just right, I'll be there. I'll be there no matter what part of the mountain I'm on. I'll be there. I'll help you up. I want to help bring people up and not tear anyone down. But I'm telling you, there's a lot. There's some of you out there who are thinking you're better off, and And you may be turning to these videos and say, well, what was that one guy's name? The Hobotographer? What did he say? Now, I don't know exactly the format I'm going to be using. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing this. I've done a lot of thinking this week. I've listened to some really good motivational speakers, and I've got some really good ideas. And I even got some stuff from tarot readers that made me think, wow, that's true. You never know where you're going to get your inspiration. You never know where you're going to get your life coming back to you from. So always absorb everything and take everything with a grain of salt. Just absorb it and apply it to your life how you feel it needs to be applied to your life. One of the motivational speakers I was listening to was a compilation video of Jordan Peterson. And I think I'm gonna go through that video again with a notebook, because he touched on so many things that I want to tell you people. He touched on so many things that it'll probably take me a few weeks to just sit there with a notebook, and every talking point he made, just knock it down, boom, this one, and then break it down as to my thoughts and my ideas on whatever he's speaking on. So you'll see a lot of that soon. But as for right now, I got to get back to my morning routine and get to work. I'm already on this video too long. God bless you. I'm the Hobotographer. And don't leave before the miracle.